Well, looks like the season has officially ended. It has officially ended as the Atlanta Falcons skate by the New Orleans Stanks. How's everybody? What is everybody's take on this game? Because this was kind of one of those. I wouldn't say slobber knockers, but it was kind of a. it just said a lot. That's all I gotta say on that.
Falcon beat the Saints. That's all. That's the only thing I got out of it today was the Falcon beat the Saints. That's it.
Okay.
Shut the New Orleans fans up for you another year. That's it.
Okay.
It was like watching.
Now,
Ooh,
go
I
ahead.
almost said no, 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 no. I almost said something for real foul. Okay, go ahead. Never mind.
Now, I'm about to say, Don, what you got? What you got on the game, man?
Man, look, uh, I knew we was gonna win. It just again, this shouldn't have been. I'm not again. One, we're not making the playoffs. Two, I really think that this game should have been this close. With this, we should have been. We should have had at least 28 points on the Saints. For us to only score with one touchdown and then everything else is field goals is crazy to me. Now, the main thing I didn't like about this game was every time there was a play made, they gotta go to the screen, the playoff screen picture, and show the graphics of the Panthers and the Buccaneers and showing people in our stadium. And I'm gonna say this too: if I was a front office staff or owner of this team, I would be embarrassed. I
Yeah,
should be embarrassed today to see Panthers fans and Buccaneers fans buying tickets to my game that we're not even playing against neither of those teams. And you seeing them coming there celebrating in the stands because our win got their team into the playoffs. A team that we couldn't even beat this year, by the way. That swept us. And I
that's
would be ashamed. I would be to the point fired. I would fire everyone.
that
But
that was
but
also supposed to just clean house, bro.
but
Straight up.
but in the
My
regard
bad.
of me not being in that position, we just gotta wait to see what they're gonna do. I just shared my feelings, how I felt about this game. It just embarrassed as a fan. And like I said, a win wasn't gonna really make me feel good because again, it was just I ain't gonna say it's a meaningless win. It's a win against the Saints, true enough. But this win, it feel it feels sluttish in my opinion. You doing
Boy,
somebody else a favor to get them off, and you don't get anything in return. That's how I feel.
I I have this saying: when anybody come to me with a business proposal, I always say, "What's in it for me? What am I gonna get out of this? What am I gonna get out of making you my business partner?" And I feel exactly looking at this game. It's like, look, like, what does this accomplish? What does this tell us? What does this game tell us as fans of the organization? Does it tell us that, like, how many times have we heard that players are playing for the coach? Like, I don't know that to be paying for a coach. Like, if it was paying for a coach, we wouldn't be having the same numbers that we have every week. The exact same number that we've had all year long, exactly what we had today. Still no Bijan Robinson. See, this is where when I look at games, I look at games from a totally different perspective than most people. Everybody just see a win. Me, I don't look how we win. Check these numbers out. Okay. 18 for 32, 180 yards, one touchdown, one interception. 15 carries for 33 yards, 7 carries for 16 yards, 25 carries for 49. Okay. So that right there, and let me go to the total yards, 340 to 208. And this is a win. You had 208 total yards in a win. Thank God that we finally have a kicker because we it's a field goal fest. We had to go through 15 kickers to get to this part. So I know a lot of people probably saying themselves, but like me, like I don't have a loser's mentality. I think anybody that is okay with the Falcons going 8-9, I think you're a loser. That's just the way I say it. I'm just be real with you. If you think 8-9 is a good thing, we've had 79, 79, 7 and 10, excuse me, 7 and 10, 7 and 10, 7 and 10, 8-9, 8-9. We don't get like every year. So we got another 5 years or 4 years to finally get to 12 wins with this franchise. Because it seems like it's a win every 2 years. We get we get one win better every 2 years, every 2 to 3 years. That ain't good enough for me. And I know, and I know Josh Gillum, we always have words with him, but like you are who you say you are what your record say you are. So my thing is, I'm not satisfied with moral victory. You can kiss where the sun don't shine with that moral victory crap. And the players are coaching players are playing for coaches. No, they not. These guys got families. These guys want to make that money for themselves. They ain't playing for the damn coach.
Yeah.
They playing for that money, kid. Yeah. So we're looking at 8-9 and hip hooray, yay! The Falcon defense finally got 50 sacks. Well, it took us 10, 15 years to do that. It took us 15 years to finally get 50 sacks in a season. That's not like, do we have to keep doing this every year? And I'm going to make y'all gonna hate me more than y'all gonna hate me more than you hate the Falcons. Because this is what we're doing. We're settling for mediocrity. Every year is 7 to 8 to 9 wins. And it takes us 15 years to finally get 50 sacks. And now we want to keep guys on the staff because they finally got 50 sacks. In 15 years, the last time we had 50 fucking sacks or close to 50 sacks was when we went to the Super Bowl. And I'm talking about consistently. We've never been a consistent sack team like that since the early 2000s, 90s.
We didn't. It's 1985.
Since 1985. So I stand corrected. It's far worse than what we expect.
40 years.
It's 40 years for us to get 50 sacks. 40 years for to get. That's selling for mediocrity. So at the end of the day, like I said, do I like win? Do I like to see the players celebrate? Of course. But nah, bro, like what I try to teach my family and people that's on board with me, I don't see. I'm probably more hard on Sam and Truth that I am than everybody on it, because they the OGs and they got more knowledge. So what my job is to make sure that they get the best out of the knowledge that they know. If I'm not pushing them for greatness, I'm not doing my job. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing my job to push them. Selling for 8 and 9 wins. No, you can kiss my ass. Like, you're not gonna show up on my show on all my platforms and anything that I have thinking we just gonna you're gonna come with your facts, you're gonna come with your stats, and you're gonna come with everything. Cause we're gonna make sure that we one of the smartest, if not the best platform out there. We don't settle for mediocrity around here. We go for greatness. So 8 and 9, if y'all cool with 8 and 9, then let's bring Raheem. He's the perfect guy for 8 and 9.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm going to focus on the best player in the league, best player on this team. Get prepared to have a paperwork war of financial duality that is not going to go well.
Oh.
It's not going to go well. Last 3 games. Week before last, they took him out in the latter half of the 4th quarter. Last week, what was it, 9 minutes of the 4th quarter that they took him out of? And then this week, he has a grand total of 43 yards. You know what that cost him? $750,000. An incentive. $750,000. If I am Bijan Robinson and they come talking that extension, you would be talking to my voicemail. You would be talking to my fax machine. You would be mailing emails unanswered.
They didn't look like they was too interested in getting.
You could not tell me they was trying to keep from paying him that $750,000. Which is what he would have got if he'd have broke the NFL single season record from the line of scrimmage and the franchise record.
No, he got that record.
He'd got $750,000. He touched the ball a grand total of what, 11 times today? 11. From Bijan in the most godliest manner that he knows how to kiss my Arizona ass.
He gonna take the high road.
He touched the ball 18 times in total, y'all.
Yeah, but Bijan gonna take the high road though.
Of course.
He gonna take the high road and leave quietly. And the real crappy part about it, we may not get anything for him.
I'll tell you this though. I'll tell you this. If he give me any indication, if I'm front office, he give me any indication that he ain't, dealing with me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm finna go out there. I'm finna pull off a Herschel. I'm finna pull off a Herschel Walker type.
Yeah, you have to deal him immediately. You have to.
Yeah, we're gonna do some Herschel Walker type stuff.
Yeah, one of the greatest trades ever to be made. Yeah, but this is just something you don't do to your star player. This is par for the course.
They have a history of doing this though. They did this last year to Donnell Mooney when guys were close to records and some of their career records and stuff like that. Like they did the exact same thing.
Yeah, they dialed him up short of that 1,000 yards.
Mm-hmm.
They did that with Kyle Pitts too for that 50 option.
Yep.
Because he wanted an extension and he didn't get that extension, so they settled with the 50 option.
Yeah. 1985 was the last time this team defense got over 50 sacks in a season. 1985, ladies and gentlemen. 1985. Walter Payton was still playing. The Bears won the Super Bowl.
Man, I was barely in I was barely in kindergarten, man. Barely. Like 4 years old, but what we talking about?
Yeah.
1985. That was bedtime. My damn life. Boy, I'm talking about for real.
Hey, hey.
I'm barely 4 5 years
Best
old.
time of my life. Wait, say that. Wait, say that, Reb Jew. Huh? Reb, what you got
Hey,
for us there, Reb?
hey,
Oh, gee.
What you got for us there?
Hey, man. Like I said, when it comes to this game, y'all know what I say every week. Look, they controlled the controllables. Go in this game and ended the right way. They ended it with a win. The playoffs and all of that, that was out the window. So, like, what this game should have taught us is handle your business. The same thing with the Bucks. The Bucks are at home because guess what? They didn't handle their business early enough, so we end up putting the Panthers in the playoffs. But to be honest, if we don't get swept by the Panthers, you in the playoffs. But
Yeah.
there's
Yep.
so many games where came down to those last. Look, I talked about it last show. The Patriots, you lost by 1 point. You lost in overtime to the Colts. We have about 8 games, 9 games that came down to one possession games. You got to handle your business. Am I glad that this team handled their business today? Yes, because I can't stand the Saints, and I wanted them to end it on the right note. As far as what's going to go on with the coaches being here, with who getting fired, who getting let go, if I had to point out one thing in this coaching staff, we said it all year. The offense is what held this team back because y'all just talked about it. When you breaking franchise records, 50 sacks in the season, that shows you that the defense did their job all season. I don't expect
57.
the defense to hold teams to 0 points. Like the days of playing football, like the 1985 Bears, you'll be these dudes will have so many penalties. The 85 Bears will have so many penalties in today's game. Guys will be getting suspended for how they was knocking quarterbacks out the game and things of that nature. So you can't play football the way you once did. So just these franchise records being broken. James Pierce Jr. with 10 sacks. When the last time we can say we had a guy to get 10 sacks in the season? Dude is a rookie. And all I've been hearing all season long is, oh man, y'all don't have a first round pick. Y'all don't have a first round pick. They traded away their first round pick to the Rams. We just drafted the best dude in the draft as far as getting after the quarterback. I think the Falcons won that trade. So all that talk about firing Terry Fontenot, that will tell me everything I need to know about the front office. If Terry
You
Fontenot
boy.
loses his job, bro, at the end of the day, at this point, I'm making videos about Arthur Blank not doing what he needs to do. Because he
Bye.
has to be held accountable as well. Because how you gonna let go of your front office guy when you have so many different guys on this team that balled out? Xavier Watts just tied Deion Sanders with 5 interceptions, set the franchise record. James Pierce Jr. breaks the sack record. There's no way that you can talk me into firing
He
Terry Fontenot.
also was brought in. He was brought in by the assistant head coach in Green Bay. God dang it. He's our
Jerry
assistant. Jerry Gray. Like he was brought in for them. Like Jerry Gray is a huge part of what we doing.
That's what I'm saying. So no, you're good. I'm just saying, like, Terry Fontenot should keep his job. I've been saying that. I've said that in multiple videos. Like, Terry Fontenot is not the problem. He's put the talent here. We know that coaching is the issue. Coaching is the issue. So at the end of the day, I don't want to hear nothing about Terry Fontenot. The dude has put and insulated this team with enough talent to win the division, to get into the playoffs. Yes, it hasn't happened, but guess what? The roots are here. That's why I say, even if you bring in a new coach, I don't want to hear I'm trading this player, getting rid of that player, doing this. The team showed you this year that you got the players. Will a couple players leave due to free agency because you can't pay everybody? Sure. But what I'm trying to say is the core unit to be a winning franchise is here. We have enough young talent to get this team to where it needs to be. So I'm not too concerned. My concern is the front office don't make smart decisions. So the best thing to do, get Matt Ryan in the building like y'all been talking about, because he's plugged into the game. He has connections in the league, and he's watching these games every Sunday working for CBS. So he sees what's going on, and he'll be able to point out who needs to stay, who needs to go. You can't tell me Matt Ryan don't know offense. The dude could call his own plays. So Matt Ryan, he can fix this offense. So if anybody can fix this team and get us to that next level, it's going to be Matt Ryan. So I would like to see him get a high position on this front office and let him be your right-hand man. Forget Rich McKay. Let Matt Ryan call some of these shots because he has more knowledge and he's been around this team, been in this locker room, been in the city. He's going to get this team where it needs to be. He should be the guy that's handpicking the next quarterback. If Michael Penix can't go, he should be able to handpick. If Kirk Cousins should stay, that decision should be necessarily, to me, it should be made by Matt Ryan. Because he can go and look at the film and say, nah, he ain't got it no more. oh yeah, I can see how this can work. He should be the one talking Arthur Blank into the next major decisions, not anybody else. Matt Ryan would be the guy that I would be kind of leaning towards on who should stay, who should go, what's some of these moves that need to be made because he's plugged in. He was at training camp, so you can't tell me the dude don't know what's going on in the building somehow, some way. So he would be the guy that I would be listening to. I wouldn't be listening to Rich McKay at this point because he's shown you he's been here the longest. And part of the issue is, like I said, it's bigger than the coaching. It's up top. Arthur Blank, Rich McKay in that front office. That's the biggest problem. Right?
And I agree with everything you said, Drew. And let me get this straight for everybody. Look, we all gonna have our opinions about Raheem staying or Raheem going. As a content creator, trust me, as a fan and as a personal person, I do not like Raheem Morris. I don't. As a former student of the game, I do not like Raheem Morris. But as a content creator, you got to look at things from every angle. So sometimes when we say things like Raheem Morris could possibly be retained, that doesn't mean that, we're for the move. We just bringing it up because it could happen. We know this front office staff like the back of our hands. We've seen them make decisions on retaining coaches after horrible seasons, and we thinking that whole time that they gotta let him go, they gotta fire him. After that 2019 season, y'all know we was doing shows then, telling y'all that Dan Quinn definitely not coming back. Dan Quinn definitely not coming back after 2019. What happened after 2019? They kept everybody, even the coordinators. They kept everybody on the staff. And in 2020, hold on, let me finish talking. In 2020, they fired everybody back. So guys, when we say that guys may be retained or this person may bring, we're just stating claims. That is what we do as content creators. That doesn't mean we're for it or not. We don't have our emotions tied into this shit. I hope y'all understand that.
Well, I got my emotions tied into it right now because I'm finna get my shit off right here. All right. So let me tell you dumb motherfuckers right here, okay? Don't tell me nothing about no goddamn winning or losing. Matt Ryan don't know nothing about no winning. Like, he's the all-time winning quarterback in his franchise history, okay? He's won every fucking award there is to win from a quarterback position. Every one of them. Every award that you've had. Every style of offense that you've had in the NFL, he's been a part of it. Whether it's a pass first, run, balance, it don't matter. He's been a part of it. He's had one of the greatest offensive minds in the NFL in Kyle Shanahan. And you can say whatever the hell you want here. That's what he is. He's a great mind. He's a great play caller. We've had guys like Dan Quinn. We've had Mike LaFleur. All these guys have been a part of this franchise. So this man knows a lot about the game of football. So when I hear all this dumb crap from these fans talking about Matt Ryan don't know nothing about winning, no, that's your goddamn feelings we talking about. Your feelings have nothing to do with reality. Because what a winner is, a winner it's not all about him. You trying to make this team about Matt Ryan and this guy. Y'all didn't want Bill Belichick in here. I want Bill Belichick in here because he's a great mind. I don't give a damn about him cheating. Because at the end of the day, what we always say about it, it's about the end results. It's about winning the Super Bowl. And this son of a bitch got by 8 damn championships. He looking like Bill Russell, but damn 15, 16 championships on all his fingers. But you guys didn't want that because you want symbolism. You want symbolism. You don't want somebody here who can. They always say this is one of the things is, and I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Yoda says some of the great lessons don't come from winning. It comes from failure. Failure is the greatest teacher. Okay? Guys like Bill Belichick failed. His first job as a head coach, he failed. It
In
wasn't because
Cleveland.
he won championships. He failed. Tony Dungy failed over and over again. That's why he was fired from Tampa Bay. Because he failed. So all these Falcon fans that don't want this guy and don't want that guy, give these guys an opportunity. But when you see what you see, Matt Ryan and guess what? Matt Ryan and Mike Smith, nobody would have saw that duo would be the greatest quarterback coach, head coaching duo in this franchise history. Nobody would have seen that. Guess what it led to? Nothing. So at the end of the day, when we talk about don't bring this guy and this bring, look, you got to see what is. This Atlanta Falcons team is not winning. Okay? We're at the bottom of the barrel. And at the end of the day, when you look at a guy like Rich McKay, under his tenure, all we've done is be mediocre. So we got to call the spade for what it is.
It ain't Raheem is not keeping us mediocre, you guys. And like I said again, I am not capping for Raheem Morris. I hate Raheem Morris than anybody else on this panel. I despise this man. But at the same time, if you thinking just firing Raheem and retaining everybody else in the front office, Rich McKay, is going to turn the fortunes of this team. It's not. You're just going to continue. They're going to continue hiring coaches that's going to be yes men, and we're going to continue winning between 7 and 9 games a season and missing the playoffs. The main culprit in this isn't Raheem Morris alone, y'all. Like, y'all got to understand, we make so many claims when we do our shows, not just to throw things at the wall and see what's going to stick, because you just don't know. We know the patterns of this team and this franchise and this organization, and we know that they can go several directions after the press conference tonight or tomorrow, whenever they want to have it. But whatever direction they take, they're going to have to live and die by it. Right now, 2 years ago, they made a decision to hire Raheem Morris as the next head coach.
Okay, I will make it to the okay.
And now, like we said, we got to die by that. Y'all see now, we missed the playoffs 2 times with him. So if they decide to go the route of keeping him and making some other adjustments, guess what? This is what everybody asked for. I didn't ask for this. But as a fan, I'm just going to continue to support whatever dumb decisions they make. Been doing it for what, 38 years?
You know, stupid is as stupid does. I supply the advice on a daily basis of do not hit sin. Okay. You know, you fake anti-anything black folk, you know what I'm saying? Just do yourself a favor and exercise the right to take your bottom lip up over your fucking forehead. Excuse me, too. Because you sound like an idiot. You celebrate anything of the darker persuasion, and what has it gotten you? What having your head up Michael Vick ass do? What did it do? Besides a horrible 3 turnover NFC Championship game in 2005, what did it do? Y'all running around here talking about we got the gear right here, return. We gave that idiot an undeserved chance, and what has his gotten us? What?
Gotta be able to get.
Because he couldn't find the crack of his butt with a microscope and a thin pen. What is GPS? But y'all around here talking this uneducated bull cuss and really showing your football IQ to be 0.0.
That was a divide, man. That was a clear divide. And we see and what Don said about Raheem ain't the only issue what's wrong with this thing.
And is it?
Three-part head. There's a three-part situation with this Atlanta Falcons team. That's the problem. There's the owner, there's the CEO, and there is the head coach. That's the problem with it. Them guys are not on the same page, and you can see it. They're not on the same page. So as long as we got these guys, like, we still in a position where we still don't know. Like, the conversation is still the same. And I care. And I want you to elaborate on this, Gil. The conversation is the exact same conversation since we drafted Des Merida. Speak on that.
Basically, the city of Atlanta and the media done turned on another quarterback. What this coaching staff has done is they basically turned the city of Atlanta against another quarterback. The reality of it is we can't go anywhere until we solidify that position while having to maintain the foundational pieces on which this team is right now.
We still trying to figure it out. We still trying
So,
to figure it out.
So basically what we have figured out and what everybody has figured out now is whatever quarterback comes in, you have a maximum of 9 games before the city turns on you. 9-10 games. Seems like do that for everybody.
It's still a question. Even if let's say Michael Penix is ready, and then Kirk Cousins comes out flat, there's a bigger issue at him than it is. This is a bigger issue at him. So like I said, I understand why people are saying all the things about Raheem and the team and the defense in the moment, but this ain't over. The problem has just begun with this Atlanta Falcons franchise. Because now what Jude was saying about Terry Fontenot, he brought in a lot of players, and now he's on the cusp of possibly getting fired. And he's the guy that brought in the Kyle Pitts. Brought in Bergeron, Drake London,
Bijan Robinson,
Chris Lister.
Like he's the one that brought in these guys, and we're talking about firing him because we still have yet to figure out who our quarterback. One thing I respect about Kyle Shanahan, and like I said, I'm sorry, True, but he made a choice. He made a choice with his quarterback. I don't think Brock Purdy's that dang on good, but he made a choice. We still ain't trying to re-sign and try to cater the team to one particular quarterback because I don't like this guy. You making a choice with an old guy. You're trying to turn this team of youngsters into an old team. Kirk Cousins is on his way out of the league, and you're trying to build a team around him.
You know why? And I don't know if we said this, and I know I probably said this, but I said it indirectly. Zach Robinson wants to be lazy and don't want to develop a quarterback. There, I said it.
Yeah.
There, I said it. He want to be lazy. They don't want to go through the motions of developing a quarterback. They don't want to have the patience of developing Michael Penix or bringing in the right people to bring in Michael Penix. Guess what? Because the people we got on the staff right now are not the right people to develop him.
And that's why you're bringing in a Matt Ryan who understands the guy. You're not bringing him in to be the elite football guy that knows every position, know everything and how to build. You bringing him in to solidify a scheme, solidify identity offensively. That's why you're bringing him in.
So let me get this straight. We're going to possibly go into 2026 on quarterback number 7. Am I correct?
I believe so.
Quarterback number 8.
7 or 8. Okay.
Because the ones that we got are still, even Kirk, like I said, is far more likely how the thing is, how the contracts are set up, that we're possibly more willing to. It's looking like Kirk Cousins is going to be cut. Just how the money is, how the money is.
Yeah, the money don't look good right now for Kirk.
Okay.
So
All
we could
right.
be
So
back 7 and 8. Yeah.
yeah, so about 7 and 8. So we already know that this city gives quarterbacks less than 10 games before they throw them in the garbage. Am I correct?
Oh yes, yes, Kel,
About
yes.
10 games. About 10 games. So let's add that up. 7 quarterbacks in 5 years. Quarterbacks thrown in the garbage at game 10. Y'all are the reason why these coaches don't want to develop quarterbacks, because all y'all gonna do is make it a major damn distraction.
Mm-hmm.
Which sounds like to me, it sounds like the city of Atlanta has a Matt Ryan problem to me.
It's a huge Matt Ryan problem.
And the problem is to have a quarterback to come in with immediate success or not needing of a lot of development.
Yeah.
That's why they only give these quarterbacks 9 to 10 games.
And what Kel's saying to y'all right now, he is shooting the arrow on the apple, the arrow to the apple, because this is going over a lot of y'all heads right now, literally and figuratively.
So essentially, what it comes down to is at this point in time, based on how the Falcon media and the Falcon fans and all this shit plays out, I don't think the Falcons should draft another quarterback for a very, very long time.
I'm staying
I,
with Mike, even if he's hurt. I'm staying with him. You can't
I,
continue to keep spending $100 million like it's just like it's a good thing.
You ain't got
no,
nobody here to develop, like that's the thing.
no. At this point in time, with the people that's watching this show right now, and the people and the media that's covered this, the Falcons should stay away from any quarterback in the NFL draft at least for the next 15 to 20 years. Because the thing about it is, they asses ain't gonna give them a chance. No way.
You cannot find a way.
You got to find a way.
You cannot find a way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is Vic Itis at its finest. Because, you know, 50% of them wanted Justina. The other 50% wanted AAU at the cost of anything. They don't. At the risk of sounding like somebody that we hate to even put on the microphone, they claim they want to win, but they really just want to be entertained. They want a black quarterback that can run around and do a bad Barry Sanders impression.
But Sam,
you want highlights. You don't want somebody that can do what that white boy did for 12 years in here that made us legit playoff contenders.
But Sam, you got to realize too. You got to realize when we're talking about that, the problem is they want to be entertained.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
that's what I said.
But no. Yeah, we can say that part. But also, what they're really upset about is the very quarterback that they don't like represents the consistency that they want.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's really what they're more upset about. Because why would you think the average person would only give a young quarterback in Atlanta 9 games before they throw him in the garbage? That
I mean,
tells you everything you need
I
to know right there.
I was so sick and tired of hearing. I don't see what I need to see yet. He ain't it. How would you know? You can go ask any Hall of Famer quarterback or coach. How long does it take for a quarterback to get right? 3 to 5 years. Not 3 to 5 games. You three
Yeah,
to
Atlanta,
5 or 9 games don't tell you shit about a quarterback.
in
I was
Atlanta,
about to say
in Atlanta,
they
it's
still
3 to
young at
5
10
games.
games.
It, look, in Atlanta, it's 5 to 10 games. Everywhere else, it's 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, only in Atlanta we looking for that. Only in
Right.
Atlanta we're looking for 3 to 5 games to. But the thing is with that is that we have been spoiled, and like I said,
Here
I'm
you go.
thankful.
Here you go.
I'm thankful
Here,
for
here,
it.
here you go right
I'm
here, Salsa.
I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. But I'm thankful for having him as a Falcon. But the problem is, it's the worst thing that ever happened. I'm thankful for Vic being quarterback because I would have never probably met you. I can comfortably say that I probably would have never met you if it wasn't for Mike Big being here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thankful on that level, but he's the worst thing that ever happened because that's all the NFL has become. Michael Vick is the worst thing that ever happened to the NFL because we feel, and it's not his fault. It's the media's fault. The main culprit at this is ESPN because even when we lost, it was all about Michael Vick highlights. Every
That boy
top 10.
he had 3 to 4 highlights on ESPN top 10 every
So
week.
the problem with that, it's like, yeah, we get so turned on to the fact of great players, but at the end of the day, this is why I enjoy watching teams like Pittsburgh, teams like Packers. Like once they figured out, it's like, all right, like yeah, we have a good player, but we got to have we have to have players around him in order to win. And I think that's the thing that we've lost as Falcon fans. We lost that because it's all about the Michael Vick. I mean, to be honest, it was all about Julio Jones. We have made sure that Julio Jones get 100 yards every game. If he wasn't getting 100 yards, then we didn't even care about whether or not we were winning games. It was just like, man, why Matt Ryan ain't throwing to Julio? So it's just become more individual. It's become a more individual and a lot due to this fantasy football stuff too. And like I said, led by ESPN. But I think at the end of the day, man, we just got to get back to. And I can't believe I'm saying this. We got to get back to Georgia football, Georgia Bulldog football. We got to do things like Kirby do it. Play defense, bring in a quarterback that ain't worth a look that you definitely need to develop. I wholeheartedly agree. I would if I were the Atlanta Falcons, I would never draft another first round quarterback ever again. It's doing nothing for this franchise and its base.
Focus on bringing in guys that can develop quarterbacks. Focus
that can
on
develop.
Quarterback
Stay away
coach.
from them.
Yeah.
I know that sounds crazy. But I would if I were the Atlanta Falcons for the next 3 to 5 years, I would never draft another quarterback in the first round. Let me get a few of these.
Look, I'm not damn the first one. I'm not drafting another quarterback. Period.
That's a bit far, Kill. I see where you're going, but we're gonna need a motherfucker to at least run an RPO, Kill. We can't play fullback at
No. With these motherfuckers, this is gonna have to be the retirement home for the Ryan Fitzpatricks of the world. This is what they want. The Aiden O'Connells.
Right,
the Josh Johnsons.
Go ahead.
Now, that's what I'm saying. The Josh Johnsons. Like I said, no more young quarterbacks in Atlanta. All old niggas. That's what we gonna have to have from now on.
Yeah, I ain't second that. I ain't second that emotion right there. I ain't that. I
You
ain't that.
ain't got a second shit. Like I said, these people have proven that they don't fuck with young quarterbacks. So give them what they want. Give them all the old motherfuckers.
I mean,
We're
they
gonna go with it.
say,
We gonna go with a new quarterback every year. We're gonna bring back Derek Carr. He gonna play 1 year. Bring back Kirk Cousins. Gonna play another. We're gonna have a rotational door of quarterbacks because this is what they want. They want rotational quarterbacks. Give it to them.
Yeah, y'all do know these Hall of Fame quarterbacks didn't come out the gate like that. I mean, Peyton Manning was booty juice in his rookie year. Troy
Right.
Aikman, oh my God. Joe Montana, and I saw this firsthand, was garbage. Terry Bradshaw, arguably the worst Hall of Fame quarterback ever. Bob Greasy.
"Oh, please don't say
Man,
Bob."
here, I'm mad at one.
I'm just saying
He's winning
these
for
guys
now.
they didn't come out the gate Hall of Famers. And how you think they became to get to be Hall of Famers? They got developed.
I don't know. It ain't us.
Like I said, but according to the city of Atlanta, we ain't got time. So if you're not a Hall of Famer by game 9, you're going to get traded. This is the mindset that they have.
If you're not a Hall of Famer by the end of training camp, it's time to cut you.
I'll second that emotion. Exactly. Yeah, I'll second that emotion. All right, we trading people after 9 games. I'll second that emotion.
Yeah. We're gonna start trading quarterbacks after 9 games. So if you draft another quarterback and he ain't a Hall of Famer by game 9, he gets traded the following year. That's why I said from now on, all the quarterbacks that we're gonna have, we're gonna get all aging veterans. All aging veterans. No more young quarterbacks.
To be honest with you, Kay, I hear what you're saying, and I know you're just playing. I know you're just playing by saying that you don't agree with that, but that's how a fan base act. But the prime example is look at what Jalen Walker and James Pierce just did. How many years have I been saying in the first couple rounds, take you an edge rusher? How many times did we go out and try to get somebody else's guy, a veteran guy, the Dante Fowlers, all of the guys that we brought in that we tried to just like put a Band-Aid, as you said, over a bullet wound, and it didn't work. But when you finally put your scouting team out there, let them go scout the best players, and then you double dip and took 2 guys, you fixed your pass rush pretty much immediately. So it goes back to what we keep saying. We want to win, but it's just we're going about it the wrong way. You see what I'm saying? Like, as y'all said, be patient with Michael Penix. Everybody was ready to throw Trevor Lawrence in the garbage. They just won the division. Everybody was saying he trash, this and that. But if you let a quarterback, like we said, 3 to 5 years, give them time to develop. Let them get through their freaking rookie contract before you're ready to throw them in the garbage and see what they can become. We don't give guys enough time to develop. We quick to say that this coaching staff and don't know how to develop players. No, we don't let players even make it through their rookie contract before we call them trash.
Right.
Everybody crucified D. Alford. Every single person crucified D. Alford. I said, man, after that Minnesota game, D. Alford was a meme. Everybody was making fun of him. But he made the crucial play in this game to win this game. He don't get that interception 9 times out of 10, we lose this game. But ain't nobody gonna talk about that because we're year to year, game to game, and we're wishy-washy as fans. We don't give guys a fair opportunity to go out there and put good film out there and give guys chances to actually develop. Like I said, how many of us go to our jobs every single day? You first started working at your job. When you first start working there, you're not going to be good at it because guess what? It takes time for you to learn what you're supposed to be doing. It's the reason they give you that probationary period to figure out what the heck you're doing because every freaking company has a way about going about doing things. Yeah, so it's the same thing about the NFL. Same thing. These players come from college. Just because you were good in college don't mean you're going to come in and hit the ground running. Bijan Robinson is the exception. A lot of these guys you're saying, Justice Jefferson, the great, when you look at the cream of the crop, these guys are exceptions to the rules. But when you talk about quarterbacks, you don't see quarterbacks come in immediately and do what Jaden Daniels did. You don't see what CJ Stroud did. That's the reason why they were getting talked about so much, because the Drake Mays and those guys coming in right off the bat and playing at a high level, you don't see that. And to be honest, if you're a good coaching staff, you don't put all of that on your quarterback's shoulders when they first come in. When Matt Ryan first started, when we talk about Coach Smitty that we had here, when Coach Smith was here, the first couple years, they didn't rely on Matt Ryan. Dang near Michael Turner, I think his first year ran for like over 1,500 yards, something crazy. They linked on the running game, they linked on the offensive line, they linked on the defense and play action pass. They didn't put everything on Matt Ryan's hands. Matt Ryan didn't throw for 4,000 yards his first season. So thinking that you're just going to get a guy that's going to come in immediately and hit the ground running and you go to a Super Bowl, chances of that's not going to happen, because majority of the time, if you're drafting high, why are you drafting high in the first place? Because you stuck the previous years. So 9 times out of 10, you're not going to go to a team and immediately turn it around. What Joe Burrow did, that rarely happens. And it's a reason why he been hurt so much, because they didn't have an offensive line. Yes, he was a good quarterback, but the chances are you can sustain and winning. The Bengals didn't sustain winning. They had that 1 year they won, and where have they been since then? They fell off the earth. Why did they fall back off the earth? They fell back off the earth because of the franchise as a whole. One player is not going to be able to carry a franchise. You need a group of guys, a core unit of good players to consistently sustain winning. You need a head coach. How many times have I said stability is the Falcons' biggest problem as well? Every 2 to 3 years, we're ready to fire somebody. Can we build some stability? We don't have no stability, and that's the why we don't know who the heck we are. That's why I said bring in Matt Ryan, because Matt Ryan understands. Coach Smith was with us about 5-6 years when Smith was his head coach. Drake London and Pittston had how many different offensive coordinators? How many different head coaches? I think Kyle Pitts is on his second head coach. I don't know how many different offensive schemes we done had. How many defensive schemes we had? I heard Jeff Olbrich just talk about we finally starting to master, because this is his first year as the defensive coordinator. We try to say Jesse Bates not playing well. Some of the veteran guys are not playing well. Well, guess what? They playing under a new defensive scheme. So if you changing coaches every 2 years, every 1 year, these guys, even the veterans, it takes time to get used to how this coach is going to run practice, how this coach wants you to play certain schemes, certain techniques. Every coach teaches the way that they want it done. So I really feel like another problem is in that front office, we need some stability. So whoever you bring in, that's why I said the next coach that you bring in, to me personally, it got to be somebody that's experienced if you get rid of Raheem Morris. I don't know if we should go with a first-year guy that's never been a head coach again, because we've seen what that brought. If you bring in a first-year type dude, 9 times out of 10, you got to give that coach time to develop. You see what I'm saying? Because what we're struggling with right now is Zach Robinson is not a developed offensive coordinator. He showed us that in the first 2 years. He's never been an offensive coordinator. So as much as we're saying let the players develop, the problem we've also run into is when you hire inexperienced offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators, they are not even experienced. So it's like, bruh, if the coach is not experienced and then you brought in a rookie quarterback to be coached by this dude, so that was just a recipe for a disaster. And that falls back on Raheem Morris, because he handpicked his coaching staff. And that's why I think his biggest mistake was with the Jimmy Lake and with the Zach Robinson hires. It was too much inexperience in both of those rooms, and these players will suffer from it. And the Falcons have paid the price for it. But at the end of the day, Kay, to go back what you said, whoever the coach is as well has to stand 10 toes down on whoever they put in there, because my biggest gripe with Arthur Smith was when he said we're riding with Desmond Ridder, he turned his back on Desmond Ridder halfway through the season. So he was just as bad as the fans when we talk about the 9 game, we give guys 9 games and then we ready to, turn the page. Even though the media was giving him hell, to me, he should have stuck with Desmond Ridder. Y'all know that's when I went haywire on Arthur Smith, and I was so upset with him because he turned his back on Desmond Ridder when the media started getting on his case about, well, you guys didn't go for Lamar Jackson. You guys didn't back, you backed Desmond Ridder as a starter. He should have stood 10 toes down and let him play all of them games. Unless he got injured, he should have rolled it out with him because he was a rookie. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, what I would have told the freaking media is, dude is a rookie. At the end of the day, I know y'all don't like he's making bad mistakes and rookie mistakes, but he's a rookie, so he's going to make rookie mistakes. I don't care how good you are. Go look at Peyton Manning's rookie year. He just talked about OG. It was terrible. Dude do like 20 plus interceptions. It happens. So
28.
patience is what we got to do. Yeah,
28
patience.
interceptions.
You said 28?
28.
Yeah.
That's the
28.
NFL record.
So that's what I'm saying. So we keep preaching patience, and I know people don't want to hear that. But another thing that we got to do, and this will be the last thing that I say as Falcons fans, the next coach that come in here, stop tying the 8-year drought to whoever the new coach is. Give that coach some grace as well, because yes, the Falcons haven't made the playoffs in 8 years, but that ain't the next coach that's coming in here's problem, because he ain't lost 8 years in a row. That's us as an organization. That's why I said, really, as much as we point at Raheem Morris, I'm pointing at Arthur Blank and all of the guys that this is his team. So at the end of the day, no, you as a franchise haven't made the playoffs in 8 years. Raheem Morris ain't been here all 8 years.
Boy, you cooking, boy. The Jew was cooking tonight, boy. Jew was cooking.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying point directly at them, because at the end of the day, I feel like they kind of skating by, and we're like pointing at this coaching staff. But guess who hired this coaching staff? Them. So at the end of the day, I'm putting Arthur Blank in the hot seat. I'm putting Rich McKay. Anybody in the front office, they need to be in the hot seat, because the reason we're not winning as an organization start with them. In the store. I don't care if they fire everybody. They need to go look in the mirror and say, are we going to pick the right next head coach? Because at this point, I don't trust them to pick the next head coach, right? Because like y'all said, all they do is continue to pick guys that they are comfortable with.
Jude,
at the end of the day.
Jude,
What a water, bro. I might have to throw his ass. I'm gonna have to take the foul, bro. He was.
Hold on, done. I see. This is why I want you guys to go ahead and subscribe to our membership, because this is what I talked about. I put a lot of videos on there on my insider takes, okay? And I'm talking about the things that what Jews are talking about right now. This is exactly what I put out earlier. And I was talking about this, but I'm not even worried about Raheem right now. I'm worried about, because if Terry Fontenot is fired, I know what the problem is. The problem ain't Raheem. The problem ain't Zach. The problem ain't none of these coaches. It's the owner and the son of a gun that's sitting right next to him, Rich McKay. Those two are the problem at this point. Because you can't keep, every time you turn around, you firing this coach, firing that guy, firing this guy, firing the GM, firing, the scout leader and all. Like, you don't change everything in that front office, from all the scouts, the scouting department. You brought in all these former GMs. You brought in all these former guys to do this and that. You got a guy like Jerry Gray, who's well experienced. He got 30, 40 years of experience in football. You brought him in and you still suck. So it goes back to, like, we're pointing all the fingers at Raheem. Am I happy about what Raheem is doing? No, I'm not. But at the end of the day, if we keep losing, and we're talking about 8 years in a row, we can't keep pointing the fingers at the head coach and the general manager and say they the fault, when we got these two clowns sitting in the office eating that escargot and all that shit, and while we up here eating bologna sandwiches and stuff. Like, no, I want some. Look, I want that expensive shit. I want to eat that shit too, and we not getting it. They feeding us scraps.
So the question now is, so the question here is, now that y'all saying that, is, what is the culture? Do we care? Do we want a culture of winning, or do we want a culture of popularity and validation?
Let me tell you,
it's popularity and validation, man. I'm just gonna, like, they don't care about winning. You go 8 seasons, 8 seasons, 8 seasons of losing. 8 seasons of losing, bro.
They care about they rich. They trying to fit in with their rich homies.
That's it. It's all about what looks good. They don't care about winning, and that's why I'm trying to tell people that everybody's upset about Raheem. And like I said, I gave Drew all his flowers this evening, man, because everything he's saying, we've been saying too. We've been telling the truth about this team. We can't just look at it. It's not a head coaching.
They enable and did it. Okay, that's what they are.
This is not a head coaching problem. It's bigger than a head coaching problem. It's bigger. This is bigger than Raheem. And if you think that Raheem is the only problem with this team, or you think Zach Robertson is the only problem with this team, then we can't have a football. We can't have a conversation. I cannot sit down and talk to you in a comfortable tone because I feel like I will be talking to somebody who does not have basic common sense. I just can't. We've been
So
losing with
far,
several coaches. Several coaches we've been losing. Several quarterbacks we've been losing. This is an organization issue.
and that's the thing too, is because they've allowed this Atlanta media to continuously perpetuate that ideology by sitting over here and talking shit about people that could change, that could take them out of their comfort zone. And yeah, people like, I don't want a dictator style coaching here. I want a nice guy.
That
We
fits
want
in with
pizza
what we do,
parties.
Phil. Fit in with what we do. We have an identity. No, hell with your identity. Your identity is losing.
Yeah.
The identity is what he just put on the screen right there. Mr. Tactician, shout out to Juan.
This,
Dysfunction is the culture. What did I tell
there
y'all when
you
I
go.
went off on Arthur Smith? Dysfunction. The dude said, I'm not going to play musical chairs at quarterback, and turned around and did what? Played musical chairs
Play
at the
with that.
quarterback.
Yep.
He deserved to be fired because you said you went against your own word. You publicly came out and said that, made that statement, and then turned around and did what you said you were not going to do. So that's my problem is like, mean what you say and say what you mean. Like I said, they keep saying, no, we don't. We want to win. That's all Arthur Blank them keep talking about. But like we said, but they're not willing to get uncomfortable to win. So you really don't want to win. Y'all just as bad as Jerry
Yeah.
Jones. I said the same thing about the Cowboys. My wife's a Cowboys fan. I said until Jerry Jones moves out the way, they're gonna continue to lose. Why?
So,
Because
so,
Jerry
so,
Jones won't lay down his ego. Period.
so basically, what you saying, Jew, is we're basically the Dallas Cowboys without the championships.
Bruh, yes, that's exactly who we are. We don't want to be Dallas Cowboys. And Arthur Blank, he's letting Rich McKay get in his ear, and they're making bad decisions. Instead of him removing his best friend and saying, look, bro, we can be friends, but I need to bring in some real football people because I don't know football. Just like Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones, I'm not going to say he doesn't know football, but also the game can pass you by. I don't know if y'all know that the game can pass you by, and clearly it's
Yes,
passed
it
Jerry
can.
Jones by because this is not the same. Back in the day, it was no cap, so you can literally pay players. Now that everybody's playing on that level playing field, the Cowboys haven't been the same ever since that changed. Let's be honest. When's the last time the Cowboys won a Super Bowl? Back in the 90s, where they could pay their players just like the New York Yankees. They can overpay for everybody and have a dominant football team. We say the same thing with our team. We winning because of talent. Philadelphia Eagles winning because of talent, just out talenting everybody. Well, guess what? The Cowboys can't out talent everybody anymore because guess what? Everybody got the same amount of dollars. No matter how much money each team makes, you're all working with the same pot. You just got to know how to use it. And Jerry Jones has been doing this for over 30 years, and the Cowboys have lost. But why does he care? Because he's making his money at the end of the day. That's why he doesn't care about winning. The same thing goes for us here in Atlanta. Until Arthur Blank gets some real football people in positions and let them make decisions, because I'm not sure that Terry Fontenot even hired any of these guys. They tried to convince us that he hired Arthur Smith, which he clearly didn't. And I know he didn't hire Raheem because prior to Raheem being hired, when the candidates were up there, we did a whole show talking about Rich McKay being the problem. And sure enough, who name comes out of nowhere when the head coach comes out? Raheem Morris, out of the blue. His name on nowhere. Being said that he was going to be the coach, he was not a front runner. All of a sudden, Bill Belichick is no longer on the table. Sir, a week later, Raheem Morris is hired, a guy who you had as your interim head coach and could have hired prior to Arthur Smith. So the problem is the front office. Period.
Yeah, Vincent, that's a bar right there. The front office is scared to be uncomfortable because of the Atlanta media.
They trying to be look. It's the
They
same
trying.
thing that we talking about. What I said about the culture and entertainment right now. We see the same thing. We got all these superstars did it on all these Diddy parties are being exposed. All of these damn the Epstein files and all that stuff is out. Now everybody want to be quiet and try to be no. Y'all were they buddies for all the time when they was screwing up and screwing up. So now they in trouble. Nobody want to speak about what was really going on behind the scenes. It's the same thing was going on with the Atlanta Falcons. They scared. Everybody's scared to open their damn mouth up and say Raheem ain't it, Mr. Blank ain't it, or this guy ain't it today. Everybody's scared. They cowards. At some point, you got to be real about it and say, "Hey, bro, this defense, us not going after edge rushers and stuff in the draft, and not taking a chance and getting rid of draft picks in order to get a James Pierce and a Jalen Walker. Like, we gotta stop that. Y'all ain't making a change. Y'all way too damn comfortable.
You know what that sounds like, Mike? And I'll put it in one word. I'll put it in one sentence. That sounds like the power of positivity, don't it?
Yes, it is. Power of positivity.
That sounds like the power of positivity.
Everybody want to be friends. Everybody want to be friends, and that's the point. At the end of the day, somebody got to step up and make the tough decisions. So when I hear guys like Jesse Bates, talking about, hey man, we just didn't get the job done. It's like, no, that man called some bullshit today, and y'all ain't even saying it, bro. This not the move, man.
So basically, the entire space is what the team is. The power of positivity and pizza parties. And the power of the problem is they thought they was going to win on the power of friendship.
Yep.
Don't do that, Skip. Don't do that.
The power of friendship.
I love you. You
love me. We want family with a great big hug and a kiss from me to you. Won't you say you love me too? That's what they thought we were gonna win on. You win being uncomfortable.
You gotta get out of being comfortable in order to be great. Look, you can't keep keeping guys around because guys like you want to give guys a chance. No. You end up doing you end up doing some dumb stuff around me. Like anybody know you look, you only give a handful of chances with me. You ain't get no third and fourth chances to do some dumb stuff that costs us. Nah, ain't happening. You got to go, pal. I want to win. I want greatness.
So basically what it is this year's Atlanta Falcons season could be summed up as being Lamb Chops play along, aka the song aka the song that never ends.
Not this
until
is the song that never ends. Yes,
so,
go on and on, my friends. I know what it was, and they'll continue doing it. What?
Because the thing is basically what everybody on the panel is saying is the culture has to change, and unfortunately, the culture is bigger than the coach. The coach still ain't shit.
You got to be able to fire your daddy, okay? If your daddy is a problem, you got to get rid of your daddy. You got to get rid of your mom. You got to get rid of your baby. You got to get rid of anybody at any given time. You got to fire their ass, okay? And we not doing that. You got to make the tough decisions. That's how
they can't get right. Yeah.
You are the weakest link. You're fired.
That's true. That's true right there.
Knew it was time. The Patriots knew it was time to move on from Tom Brady.
They knew it was time.
Bill Belichick knew it was time, but they wasn't ready to let him go yet. They ended up sticking with him with 2 more years.
And they didn't get what they could have got out of him if they would have just made the decision right away. But they held on to it. Now they're back where they were, but again, it took them to just recognize it. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, right there, even with Gerard Mayo, it's like it wasn't he was a bad guy or a bad head coach. He just wasn't it for them. They knew it, they saw it, and they made a move. And that's the thing that separate Mr. Kraft from Mr. Blank. Like when you know this ain't it, you know it. But instead of trying to be a nice guy, you just gotta call it. Look, man, this ain't gonna work out, bro. I love you, but this ain't gonna work out. You got to go. You got to go. Mr. Blank ain't ready to do that. Until he's ready to do that, we're gonna keep on doing what we're doing.
I ain't got nothing else to say, man. I just know
I'm ready to goddamn go. I'm tired, y'all. I'm tired, y'all.
Look. We got a whole weeks of content and conversations coming up from everybody. Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Let me just read these because I don't know if we got to them. So I just want to.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Hit the super chats up.
All right, so we got B Peeps right here. Stats are for losers. That's why our head coach, and that's cute. Why he say that. We got Drip. That's what's wrong with the fan base now. They don't support greatness and support BS. Not to mention emotional and gullible. Deuce. Restructure Kurt and bring him back. Like I said, we'll get back that on. We'll probably get that Monday, right, kid?
Yeah, we can talk about that.
And Jew will probably talk about that too in the upcoming video. What he thinks. If I think he may have already spoke on that.
I'll speak on it again, Mike. I already did, but now that the season over, I still speak on it again. While I kind of stand with it.
Yeah, Southside said so. Still not draft. Yeah. Look, I'm dead serious. We ain't drafting no more quarterbacks. We gonna do like the Indianapolis Colts did before they got Anthony Richardson, bring in all old heads. And guess what? That's gonna save you a lot of money right there.
There's too much money being allocated and resources being allocated to the quarterback position if you're not going to develop.
Mm-hmm. The city of Atlanta does not deserve to see a development of another quarterback. So get all old heads. So now on.
This is how serious I am about it, y'all. Okay, I would rather bring in a Stetson Bennett than draft another first-round pick.
Boy, you better have Georgia fans salivating.
I would rather bring in Stetson Bennett than draft another, because we're not gonna do the right thing with him. The fans are not gonna appreciate him. As soon as he don't remind him of Matt Ryan and Mike Vick, y'all ready to throw him away.
Mm-hmm.
Forget that, Mike. We want to be the Tennessee Titans. We want to have 3-4 rookie quarterbacks on the roster at the same time.
Come on.
Them boys that ran through about 3, 4, 5 quarterbacks. They had on Levis. They had Malik Willis, who actually playing well now. Now they got Cam Ward, and they still suck.
Mm-hmm.
Booty.
Yes.
And now the player that's actually developing playing well. Just think about it. They would have kept Malik Willis and developed him.
Mm-hmm.
Cam Booty.
That's the rookie of the year, Watts or Pierce. I'm biased, so I'm gonna just say Pierce because I'm biased.
I'm a D-line. I love my DBs, but I'm always go D-line. Everything always start up front.
Win now narrative has sure taken a hit. Like I said, man, we ain't winning nothing until we change it. We drafted Red in the 3rd round and got crucified basically after one season. Man, it wasn't even it wasn't even the whole season, man.
That man became the demon seed of Atlanta as soon as Lamar Jackson was available. When they said Lamar Jackson was available for trade, and they said no, yeah, that was it for his NFL career right there.
Look who finally came back around, y'all. It's Tank. He's starting to talk about quarterback now. That's interesting, ain't it?
Mm-hmm. Like I said, like I said, I'm gonna tell Tank, and Tank just came in. Like I said, the Atlanta Falcons should no longer draft any more quarterbacks in any round of the NFL draft. No more of those.
See, that statement right there is the epitome of what's wrong with you. No football IQ having fan base.
I ain't even entertaining it. I saw it on the screen, but I'm not even going.
Look.
Oh my
I'm not
goodness.
going. I'm not going to
Look,
entertain it. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not.
look,
Like
look, look. Like I said. If I see a quarterback that gets drafted by this team, believe you or me, he's gonna be gone after a year.
Y'all have no
All
idea.
old heads.
I can't stand nothing about Stetson Bennett. All right. So for me to want him to
Oh,
bring, I don't want nothing. I don't want this franchise touching another quarterback.
like I said, y'all say, we like such and such draft. Nope, don't need to be on the Falcons. Nope.
Because the coaching staff and the organization gonna mishandle it, and you fans are gonna do anything and everything possible to make sure y'all get on the radio, social media, tag the Falcons, tag them, go after their mom, go after their wives, go after their kids, boo them at Hawks game, boo them at Georgia game, boo them in the bins, follow them in traffic, and steal their stuff out of their truck. Y'all gonna do all that. So
No,
I don't want y'all touching another. I don't want y'all
that
touching.
this Atlanta, the city of Atlanta, the Atlanta media, and the Falcons should not touch another young quarterback no more. After Michael Penix, this is it. This is it.
Y'all not appreciative of quarterbacks anyway. John, if your knees better than mine, you go ahead. I ain't look. Don't ask me to block for you because you on your own.
Uh,
I know.
it's
Look,
teams out there. It's teams out there that take drafting a quarterback serious, and the Falcons haven't done that. You know, not even just drafting, but just bringing in whoever you want to bring in as a quarterback. You got to have a system in place for them to thrive in and develop in.
let me ask
we
y'all.
have.
Let me ask y'all.
Before you ask that, Mike, I'm gonna just say this: we haven't had a quarterback development system down here in the city of Atlanta since 2001.
But that's where I was going, Kill. The question that I have for everybody is like, what's so smart about spending $100 million on one quarterback and then spending another $30 million on and a first round pick on another quarterback just to turn around and play musical chairs with both of them?
Exactly.
What's smart about that?
You wasting money.
Exactly.
You wasting money in draft picks at this point.
You playing
Exactly.
musical chairs. If you're gonna play musical chairs, why even use your first round pick if you're gonna play musical chairs with the quarterback? You should have just kept Kirk Cousins injured behind if you were gonna play musical chairs with it.
Hmm.
There was no need to draft Penix if you were gonna play musical chairs. And this is what you were talking about. Like it's the organizational fault. It's like if I pay $100 million to Kirk Cousins, there's no reason for me to even draft Penix. No.
That was the question I asked on the draft night. I
What was
remember
the
that
first
shit.
thing you
I
said,
said, I said, so what the fuck was the point of bringing in Kirk Cousins if you gonna make this damn pick?
The problem is they weren't confident enough that they was going to be able to develop him. That was the
Mm-hmm.
problem. Like y'all
Yeah.
just talked about. It wasn't that Zach Robinson's too lazy. No, Zach Robinson is not experienced enough. So they should have just went with Kirk Cousins and saved the money and didn't even draft him. And just brought in a backup for Kirk Cousins. Or they should have used that capital that they was spent on Kirk Cousins, drafted Penix, and then went ahead and put that capital on defense or in some more offensive players, like wide receiver that was struggling there. You see what I'm saying? But we don't got those common sense. You see, we don't got that kind of common sense. What we did is, we gonna try to insulate ourselves, and guess what? Both dudes end up getting hurt. So you still didn't do what you said you was gonna do. You said that you were gonna
Exactly.
draft Penix just in case as a security for Kirk Cousins, and then all of that blew up in your face. So it's like at the end of the day, like y'all said, no point to keep drafting guys and then doing what the Cleveland Browns do, have a new quarterback every year, because anybody can do that. We don't need to wash, rinse, and repeat. Give a guy a chance. That's why I said at this point, wait for Pennis to get healthy. Just continue to build. If you want to bring Kurt back, but bring in, like y'all said, a bridge guy. There ain't no sense of having two guys trying to compete for a quarterback position like Penix and then try to draft another guy to be the franchise guy, because that's dysfunction. Like y'all said, having two young quarterbacks competing against each other, that don't work.
And Kirk Cousins was already involved in some shit like that with RG3.
Man, look, man. my God. That's dysfunction at its finest. It was doomed from the very beginning.
John talking about, I just want to beat the Falcons over the head with their own choices. You goddamn right. We are on the pace right now to beat the Cleveland Browns here real soon. Shador Sanders was the 42nd starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns since 1999.
God
At
almighty.
the rate that we're going to be the next team like that.
That's I think we depressed enough, y'all. If y'all ain't got no questions, we'll kind of get everybody last take some.
I don't think there's no questions in here, so yeah, I'm just
There's one. I'm off, but Penix. But it again, Nick. I hear you. You see, you keep talking about but. It don't matter how long it takes. You gotta develop them. It took Steve Young 6 years to finally
hold on. So let me ask Nick that question. Let me ask him this question. So if we're talking about but, then what the hell is DJ Williams is if he's the quarterback coach? What the hell is he?
What the hell is his job? Why the hell?
What is he doing?
If you're not gonna go and get a Matt Schaub or Jesse Palmer or even
Brian Greasy,
Eli or Peyton out, you know what I'm saying, something to that effect. What are we doing at the QB coach position?
I said Brian Greasy, and I also mentioned yesterday. I mentioned a head coach yesterday to bring in. Like if you're gonna be serious about developing a quarterback, your next head coach needs to be an offensive. It needs to be somebody like Joe. It needs to be like Joe Lombardi. Joe Lombardi has been in that quarterback's room with Drew Brees since 2010, I believe.
Yep.
Right.
And then he's there in Denver right now helping Bo Nix develop. So if you're gonna be serious about quarterback, that's why I said like I'm cool with just bringing in a guy like. Now again, a claim I can make 20 claims a day if I want to. I need y'all to remind y'all of that. But if we're serious about developing a quarterback, you bring in a guy like a Joe Brady or a Joe Lombardi. Those guys know how to develop quarterbacks. You don't bring in a guy like Zach Robinson, who has no play calling experience and doesn't have any experience in developing a quarterback. You can't say that, and I can sit up here and tell you that because Matthew Stafford was his quarterback when he won the Super Bowl with the Rams, and we talking about an older Matthew Stafford.
Mm-hmm.
Who didn't need a quarterback's coach. Add that in there too. When Matt Ryan was in his 10th year, 13th year, he don't need no quarterback coach. All he need him for is pass me that Gatorade bottle. All right, thank you. He don't need nobody over there talking to him.
Terry said you could have gotten Kirk Cousins and developed Bernard with the good heart.
Yeah,
you could have.
Yeah, that would have saved you about $170 million if you did that shit.
See, this why they all of them need to be fired just for that. Right
that would have saved you about $170 million.
And 2 years on the bottom of the barrel.
And guess what? Even if you didn't want to keep Bernard with the good hurt, all he did was cost you $2 million.
You could have kept Taylor Heineke too for another $3 million or less. Just saying. We could have got the same results. We could have got the same results with those quarterbacks.
Think about it. You literally damn near got the same result from the previous regime with a $5 million quarterback room than you did the past two seasons with a $300 million quarterback room. You got the same result.
And we buy $30 million in the cap space. Forward too.
And I want to add to what y'all was saying with the last comment that was up there, Kay, when he said wait 3 to 5 years, question mark. You don't necessarily have to wait 3 to 5 years. What I'm saying is take everything into context. One thing I can say about the Panthers, as much as I've been ragging on them and stuff, and Bryce Young, one thing I can say about them is they've been patient with Bryce Young. But why should they be patient? When he got there, the dang gone cabinet was empty. He ain't had no wide receivers, no tight ends. He had nothing. They literally traded his best wide receiver, DJ Moore, in that trade and gave the Bears all of those first round picks. So they had no choice but to be patient with him because guess what? They had a first time head coach in Matt Rule, I think, at the time. Then they didn't have any weapons. I don't care if you would have put Matt Ryan, Peyton Manning on that team. You got to take into context as well what he was working with. What was Desmond Ritter working with? You got to take that into account as well. He won't play with this same team we got now. You see what I'm saying? So you also have to take those things into context of what does the team actually look like. Like I said, 9 times out of 10, if you're a first round draft pick and you being drafted high, most of the times, unless it was some type of trade that took place, you're being drafted to a bad organization or you're being drafted to a team that's a bad team that doesn't have a ton of weapons. So what I like to see teams do is, as we did with Penix, draft all of the other positions first. So you're bringing the quarterback into a comfortable position where he has weapons and things of that nature. The Panthers had no choice but to stick with Bryce Young because they couldn't really see how good he is until you get the weapons around him. Because even the great quarterbacks, what does the Rams have around Matthew Stafford? Why was he able to win a Super Bowl? Because he has great players around him. When he was in Detroit, how many Super Bowls did he win? How many playoff games did he win? Matthew Stafford's an excellent quarterback. I've been saying that for years. But him by himself, he wasn't doing nothing with the Lions. It wasn't until he got guys around him, a full team around him, for him to be able to elevate. Before that, one player is not going to elevate a whole franchise in the game of football. That ain't how it works. This ain't the NBA where one guy can change your fortunes. So we got to learn that we got to be patient. And that's why y'all right about let's not just draft the next top guy because guess what? They're not going to be able to elevate us neither. When Matt Ryan was here, yes, he was a great quarterback, but it wasn't until they got Julio and added all those weapons around him, Devontae Freeman, Coleman, that we went to a Super Bowl. We were winning games, but we didn't get to no Super Bowl until we had a full team of excellent guys around him that helped him elevate to get to a Super Bowl. You can win a couple games, 8 games, with just having the bare minimum. You can win 7 games. Arthur Smith did it with Cordero Patterson and all the little guys we had at that point. But we didn't have no roster that was a Super Bowl roster at that time. So that's why we got to also put context to it. Yes, Arthur Smith won 7 games, but we were shopping at the Dollar Tree. He didn't have this roster we have now. I would like to see what Arthur Smith could do with this team that we have now. I think he would have won a lot more games with the roster we have now. So you got to add that context into it as well. So when we say 3 to 5 years, what I'm saying is if the team is not built, you got to give guys time. And even if the team is built, you still going to have to get that quarterback. I say give him his full rookie contract. If he's a first round pick, give him 3 to 4 years to see. It's a reason they got that 5th-year option out there because you need them first 4 years to see what you got. And then you can make that decision on, let's see if we want to bring them back for a 5th-year option. They wouldn't have threw that in there if they thought everybody would be great when they first initially come in. So the patience level, I know we keep saying be patient, be patient, be patient. But that's just a part of the game. You got to be patient. You can't expect guys to come in initially and take you directly to a Super Bowl. And to be honest, there's a reason why no rookie quarterback has won a Super Bowl. Experience matters.
All I'm gonna tell y'all right now, we're seeing more and more Mr. Blank son, Josh Blank. So my thing is, I think a change is coming a whole lot sooner than most people are willing to accept. So that being said, man, like I said, man, we appreciate everybody for their continuous support for us throughout the NFL season. We still gonna be doing content. Jew has what's the word coming on the off season, the Mad Mike show coming through the off season. Dunn is gonna be doing a lot more Michigan on the heavy hitters Also, we're gonna be doing a lot of college takes, NFL, obviously breaking down a lot of these NFL prospects, college prospect coming into the NFL draft. Like I said, man, if you guys are wrestling fans, we definitely gonna have some wrestling shows going into WrestleMania season. That'll be coming up real soon. But like I said, man, be sure to subscribe to Jew Talk Sports, the Heavy Hitters live channel, as well as Mr. White Sports, Mr. White Sports Network. But hey, man, it's been a long season. We'll see what happens in that regard as far as the coaching is concerned. But it starts with Mr. Blank. It starts with Mr. McKay. They don't get it right. We can't keep pointing the fingers at the head coach and the players and saying they need to execute. No, y'all need to hold yourselves accountable. And I don't at this point, I don't think they're holding themselves accountable. So that being said, I'm out of here, man. We appreciate it, but hey, man, got to get something to eat. I'm hungry than a mug. That's it. Sam, you got nothing else?
Y'all tune in tomorrow. I'm gonna have it's gonna be all about the NFL, the playoff situation. Y'all tune in tonight to Sunday Night Football. That'll tell you a whole lot about what I'm gonna be talking about tomorrow.
You really gonna do
I
this?
already
I knew he was gonna do
I
that.
already knew he was gonna say that.
I knew he was gonna do that, boy.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
It's
am.
gonna be an interesting night. Look, man, I'm gonna be laughing. I'm gonna be laughing.
Another college, some college basketball reporting. You know what I'm saying? There's some of the high profile names in schools, the top 10, top 25. Doing that. So y'all tune in. You know what I'm saying, for that Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Other than that, go get some vittles and watch some Sunday Night Football.
All right, y'all. Well, hey, y'all. Look, as usual. Hey, man. Hold on, man. Hold on. I ain't gotta say what I gotta say. But again, y'all. Let's just wait and see what happens. You know, again, we all have hopes and aspirations of what could possibly happen, and whatever direction this team goes, just know we still gonna be here reporting on it. So,
oh, for sure.
You gotta be, as a fan, and then continuing to be a fan of a team like this, you gotta be optimistic in every way that you possibly can. So, anyway, that's all I gotta say.
Hey, man, I appreciate it. Smoke. Look, man, 12 is right around the corner. Jew. Like I said, man, y'all hit that subscribe button. Support these damn. Let's stop watching the dang on channel without subscribing. Subscribe to the damn channels, okay, y'all? Subscribe. Hit the actual subscribe button.
That's free. It don't cost you nothing.
It don't cost you nothing. Actually, hit the subscribe button, okay? Get it. So that's all we got to say, man. I'm out of here, man, because I'm hungry. I need to find something to eat. I ain't had nothing all day. I'm out of here, man. Peace.
I'll let y'all be good.
Mm-hmm.